an agreement.
Leavers sought to table that document. Is there any objection? There is objection. Question number 9, the Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Mr. Speaker, this question is to the Prime Minister and asks, does he stand by his answers he gave yesterday to supplementary question 5 on oral question number 7 and supplementary question 3 on oral question number 12?
The Honourable Jerry Brownlee on behalf of the Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Prime Minister, yes.
The Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Well, can the House infer from his words, and I quote him, that has always been the test, end of quotes, that as a matter of principle, if any minister were found to have knowingly misled him as Prime Minister, he would sack him or her?
The Honourable Jerry Brownlee.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Prime Minister, that is the Prime Minister's position.
The Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Well, given that the Honourable John Banks told his Chief of Staff that the reason why his witness statement is not public is because the police decided not to release it, when in fact Mr. Banks himself told the police not to release it, does that not mean that he, Mr. Banks, knowingly misled both the Prime Minister's Chief of Staff and him as Prime Minister?
The Honourable Jerry Brownlee.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Prime Minister, it simply means that that's a view held by the Right Honourable Winston Peters.
The Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Okay, is it correct that he as Prime Minister on at least 3 occasions gave false information to the House in relation to the .com case? And if so, how can he expect the New Zealand public to believe he as Prime Minister is telling the truth?
The Honourable Jerry Brownlee.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Prime Minister, on each occasion, every attempt has been made to factually give a position to the New Zealand public. Mr. .com does not consume all of the government's time.
The Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Somebody question. Is it not the case, given the previous answers in respect of the Honourable John Banks, that if he as Prime Minister is proven to have misled the House, then he will resign as Prime Minister? If not, why not?
The Honourable Jerry
Mr.
Brownlee.
Speaker, on behalf of the Prime Minister, that is in fact not the case.
Question, supplementary question, Grant Robertson.
Supplementary question to the Prime Minister. Can he confirm his answer that the first he heard of Kim.com was the 19th of January 2012, despite the fact that a US arrest warrant on Mr. .com was put out in March 2011? His ministers, Williamson, Power and Coleman, all dealt with aspects of his move to New Zealand prior to the 19th of January. The US Justice Department said that they had substantial and critical assistance from the New Zealand Police, the Officer of the Solicitor General and Crown Law in the lead-up to the raids, and that .com had funded the biggest New Year's fireworks in New Zealand's history in 2011.
The Honourable Jerry Brownlee.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Prime Minister, yes.
Question number 10, Nikki Wagner.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the Minister for Canterbury Earthquake Recovery.